In this lecture, let me consider an example problem for convolution sum. Now, consider an input x of n and a unit impulse response h of n given by x of n is equal to alpha times alpha to the n times u of n with alpha lies between 0 and 1. So, its magnitude is less than 1 and h of n equal to u of n, and luckily both are right sided sequence. Okay. So, if h of n is u of n, that means what? H of n is equal to 0 less than n. So, this is a condition for causal system. Okay. And this one also, x of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0 because of this u of n. So, this indicates causal signal. Therefore, in your summation convolution sum, y of n is equal to x of n convolved with h of n. This is equal to summation where k is going from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of k h of n minus k, and this would be equal to concentrate only from k equal to 0 to n, no need to go up to infinity, x of k h of n minus k. So, very simple now. So, you can do this thing in this method, but let us adopt the conventional method and we will come to this one later on. As I already told you, the first step is move from independent variable n to k. Therefore, x of n becomes x of k and h of n becomes h of k. Why are we doing like this? Because in the summation the output is y of n, and here also if you put n, then if you put n here, then it will be little difficult to handle. So, there will be some confusion, and here also n is there, and again here if you put n in this place, if you put n, then you cannot differentiate. So, that is why we are introducing some dummy variable k here. So, k is a dummy variable. So, therefore, in the summation what we do? We put like this, x of n to x of k and h of n to h of k. That is the first step. What is the second step? You take x of n, you keep x of k as it is, then h of minus k you find out. And what is the third step? You delay by certain amount of time. So, h of n minus k. Here again you consider different values like n less than 0, n greater than 0, like that you consider. Fine. Different values you consider and find out. This is x of k. Now, what is the fourth step? Multiply these two guys, x of k times h of n minus k. What is the fifth step? You sum them up, that is all, where k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, x of k h of n minus k. Of course, in our case, this minus infinity to plus infinity becomes 0 to n like this. Now, let us do this one by one. So, that is a very simple process. Well, let me draw the x of n is equal to, or x of k is equal to alpha to the k u of k, like 1 second. Given signal is x of n is equal to alpha to the n u of n. This is what given. Now, change this n to k, x of k is equal to alpha to the k u of k. Now, also we said alpha mod of alpha is less than 1. Let us say alpha is equal to 0.5. Then what happens? You substitute k equal to 0, then you will get 1, right? K equal to 0, then x of 0 is equal to 1 to the 0 into u of 0. What is u of 0? 1. 1 times 1 power 0, 1. Similarly, when substitute k is equal to 1, then x of 1 is equal to alpha is 0.5. Let us assume alpha is equal to 0.5. Like this, 0.5 whole power 1 times u of 1. Again the argument is positive, so it leads to 1, and this one is 0.5, therefore 0.5. Second sample, when k is equal to 1, then x of 1 is equal to 0.5. If you substitute k is equal to 2, then you will get x of 2 is equal to 0.25. Now if you notice these values, then values are reducing as k increases. Initially I had 1 when k equals 0, when k equals 1, then I got 0.5, when k equals 2, I got 0.125. Even if you go one step further, when k equals 3, then x of 3 is equal to 0.125. Okay, so therefore the values are diminishing, reducing. So if you plot this x of k, it looks like this. Initially it will be 1, and then it becomes 0.5, 0.25, 0.125. So it is a decreasing exponential like this. It goes like this, decreasing exponential, not growing exponential. So therefore this is alpha to the k u of k, your x of k. Fine. Now what is the second signal? H of n. What is h of n? H of n is equal to u of n. Change the variable, independent variable to k. So n to k, h of k is equal to u of k. Okay. So how does a u of k look? It let's say this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, like this. So this is your u of k, as k goes like this. Now this is a first step. So first step is over. What is the second step? Fold the signal. So like this. This is h of minus k, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Second step is over. What is the third step? Shift the folded sequence. So h of n minus k. Here we consider two cases. Case 1, when n is less than 0. Case 2, when n is greater than 0. That means what? When I say n less than 0, what I am essentially saying is n is positive. That is what I mean. When n is greater than 0, what I am saying is n is negative. I am sorry, I wrote another way. When n is less than 0, what I am saying is n is negative, and then when n is greater than 0, that means n is positive. That is what. Now let us take n is equal to 1, minus 1. Let me start with minus 1. Then your signal starts from, it is shifted to the left, right? So this is a 0 point, so it goes like this. It starts from minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and so on. So this is h of minus 1 minus k. This one is h of k and this is h of minus 1 minus k. Okay. Then let me take n is equal to 1. Then how does it look? Then it starts from n equals 1, 2, 3 and so on. This is 0, no value here, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this is h of 1 minus k. Suppose I take some arbitrary value, I don't know what that value is. This is 0 point. Now let me choose some randomly some n value here. Okay, so this n can be like say minus 10 or minus 12 or minus 100 or whatever it is. Let me say some general value n. Then it starts from here and it goes to the left like this. So this is your h of n minus k, where n is less than 0, that is n is negative. Let me extend. Then let us say some arbitrary point, let me take here n, then it starts from n and it keep on goes, and this one is h of n minus k again, where n is greater than 0, that is n is a positive value. N takes only positive values. That's all. These are different delays. Now what is our convolution says? Our convolution is equal to summation over k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k times h of n minus k. Now you take these two guys, multiply and then sum. So x of k looks like this, it is keep on reducing. This is my x of k. What is h of n minus k? Let me consider for negative values of time. It starts from somewhere. This is h of n minus k for n is less than 0. Now multiply these two, h of n minus k with the x of k. X of k is here, h of n minus k is here. Multiply these two guys. If you multiply, there is no overlap, right? X of k multiplied by h of n minus k. For this multiplication, there is no overlap between non-zero points in x of k and h of n minus k. See, this is non-zero, this is non-zero, these are all non-zeros. But here in this range correspondingly, this all are zeros. So multiplication of non-zero value with 0 values, then it becomes 0. And the left hand side, you look at here, this all are zeros right from minus infinity. But here you have non-zero values. Again 0 value and non-zero value 1. Then if you multiply, then it is 0. Therefore, your y of n becomes summation k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity 0 for n less than 0. That means y of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0. That is it. This is the first thing. Now let us consider n greater than 0. Second case. So let me draw the figure x of k. At n equal to 0, its value is 1. Then it keep on reduces like this. It is a decreasing exponential, alpha to the k, uk. This is my x of k, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it keep on goes x of k. Now you take h of k and shift by n units to the right like this. I'm sorry. Once again, I did something wrong. Yeah, this one is like this. I'm sorry. It starts from this point, it will not go in the right hand side. That's what. I am very sorry. It goes like this. It goes up to minus infinity. This is your h of n minus k. Okay. It is left sided sequence. Left sided sequence starting from n. Okay, and this also left sided sequence sequence starting from n, where n is negative. And in this case, starting from n, where n is positive. So, let us say this n can be, let us say, some 10 or 15 like this, but here this n is negative, the second h of n minus k here in this case. So, here some value, let us say this is n, then this is sequence like this, it goes keep on 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, dot dot dot, let us say n is here like this. Okay. So, what is this? This is h of n minus k. Now, multiply these two guys, alpha to the k times x of k multiply by h of n minus k. Okay, now there is a overlap, you can look at. Here the value is 1 and here also the value is 1, and here the value is alpha to the 1 and here this is 1, and here alpha, let me write down, this is alpha to the 2, alpha to the 1, alpha to the 0, alpha to the 3. Okay. So, these values are multiplied by a constant value, throughout this it is constant. So, only positive values of 1. Therefore, in the positive region, in this range, after you multiply, what you get is x of k multiplied by h of n minus k is equal to x of k itself, because alpha to the 0 times h of 0 is equal to alpha to the 0, alpha to the 1 times h of 1 is equal to again alpha to the 1, alpha to the 2 times h of 2 is equal to alpha to the 2. So, these all are again what? Your x of k only. This is disappearing because that value is 1, 1 into anything same 1 only. So, x of k here, x of k, h of n minus k, this is 1 for n greater than k. So, in this region it is 1, therefore, that is equal to x of k itself. Therefore, x of k h of n minus k is equal to x of k as long as your n is greater than or equal to k. Because you are including that sample also, you put greater than, not strictly greater than, it is greater than or equal to k. Okay. Okay. So, your y of n is equal to sigma k is equal to 0 to n x of k h of n minus k, and this is equal to x of k when k is greater than, n is greater than k. Therefore, sigma k is equal to 0 to n x of k. So, summation of k is equal to 0 to n. What is x of k? X of k is alpha to the k times u of k, right. Anyway, u of k is 1, then you can consider this as, leave it, you can disregard that. So, alpha to the k is equal to 0 to n. Then what is this? This is like a finite sum formula, you can use finite sum formula. Then this is equal to 1 minus alpha to the n plus 1 divided by 1 minus alpha for n greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, your y of n is equal to 1 minus alpha to the n plus 1 divided by 1 minus alpha times u of n, or you can also write 1 minus alpha to the n plus 1 divided by 1 minus alpha for n greater than or equal to 0. Like that you can write any one way, either this way or that way. Now this is called finite sum formula. Recall from your one of the previous lecture, I already covered this finite sum formula. Just for completeness, let me write down this formula here. So there are some 3-4 formulas are there. Like summation of alpha to the n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, or you can put k also, not an issue. It after all dummy variable, right? K is equal to 0 to n minus 1 alpha to the k is equal to capital N for alpha is equal to 1 if, and 1 minus alpha to the capital N divided by 1 minus alpha for mod of alpha is less than 1. For any complex number, or you can say more generally for any complex number, provided that alpha is not equal to 1. So this is called finite sum formula. And the second one is, if alpha mod of alpha is less than 1, then sigma k is equal to 0 to infinity alpha to the k is equal to 1 by 1 minus alpha. This is called infinite sum formula. Second formula, let's say. And the third one is summation over alpha times k times alpha to the k, where k is equal to 0 to infinity. This is alpha divided by 1 minus alpha the whole squared. Third one. And the fourth formula is, these are 3-4 important formulas, please remember. It starts from k is equal to let's say k is equal to n to infinity and alpha to the k. This is alpha to the k, alpha to the n divided by 1 minus alpha. Okay, so please remember this formula. Now our final result is going to be y of n is equal to 1 minus alpha to the n plus 1 divided by 1 minus alpha multiplied by u of n, right? Now if you try to plot this, then for negative values of n it is 0 because you are multiplying by u of n here. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, these values are 0. Y of n. When n equals 0, what happens? This one, 1 minus alpha divided by 1 minus alpha, which is equal to 1. Therefore, let's say this value is 1. Okay, now let us assume alpha is equal to 0.5. When n equals 1, then 1 minus alpha square divided by 1 minus alpha. See, the numerator is higher than the denominator because alpha, let us say alpha equal to 0.5, then the numerator will get 1 minus 0.25 divided by 1 minus 0.5, 0.5. So 0.75 divided by 0.5. So again, if you solve it, you will get like 3 by 2, right? You will get 3 by 2. 1 second. This is alpha square, alpha equal to 0.5 means 0.25, 0.75 divided by 1 minus alpha 0.5. This is multiplied by 100, so 750 divided by 50. So 1 times or 5, and this is 15 times. So the value is 15, so it shoots up. Okay, it increases. Is it correct? Check it. Anyway, check out this. Okay, so for every sample it is keep on increasing like this. Okay, and it keep on increase, and for one value it saturates. And that value is 1 divided by 1 minus alpha. Okay, so that's how your y of n looks like. Okay, let me stop at this point. In the next lecture we will consider one more example.